Can't believe how many takes this is taking. I'd like to preface this video by saying a massive thank you to all of you who have been supporting my weird endeavours by watching, liking, commenting and subscribing. I can't really express in words, although I suppose now I am, just how much it means to me to read what you guys put, as well as see that subscriber count steadily grow. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not doing any of this for numbers, be it likes, watches or subscribers, but to see a growing number of you who seem to genuinely like what I do and then sub to see more, it just makes it so much easier to just crack on with the next video. So that being said, today's video is dedicated to subscribers, old and new, as well as regular watchers. Just a massive thank you for your support. We start today with this casual email from Maureen Harrison saying, "I'm Maureen from the United States. I find it interesting to become your friend so that we can share ideas and things together based on mutual business relationship. You can mail me back if you don't mind." "No, I don't mind at all, Maureen. I'm down for a chat." So I reply in a equally casual manner, "Okay, Maureen, I'll take a chance on you. What's on your mind?" Maureen, for some reason, but probably one we can narrow down to her being a scammer, and therefore not someone we can expect to follow social norms, replies to my email not in the same casual format in which she introduced herself, but by sending me what I can only describe as her CV, complete with a collection of photos, which, without a shadow of a doubt, I know will have been pulled from social media or Google. So, for that reason, I have blackbarred them, as I do not wish to implicate an innocent person in this, or any for that matter, video. She begins her CV with this: "Dear friend, thanks for writing me back, and I want you to know that no friendship is an accident." Oh, you wish I was an accident before long. Followed by this motivational quote: "I would rather walk with a friend in the dark than alone in the light." Sounds like she's trying to tell me she can trust complete strangers. I wonder if this will have any financial repercussions later on. She continues with, "Presently, I am in Afghanistan for peacekeeping mission due to the war crisis going on here in Afghanistan. I have a good heart. I am very sincere and down to earth. I am an easygoing, respectful and kind woman. My religion is Catholic Christian. I never judge others and am very compassionate. I love to appreciate the little things in life. Dear, I have my reasons to contact you, as I have something very important to share with you in my next mail. I wish to build a strong relationship with you on the atmosphere of trust and sincerity in order to go into a business partner with my funds which I need to invest with your urgent assistance. Let me stop here now." Aw, don't stop now. I'm positively riveted. "I expect an urgent respond from you soon." So, responding urgently, I reply, "Well, that is a certainly very impressive resume. If you were applying for the job of my friend, then you've got it. Thank you for your service to your country and to the world at large. It pleases me that there are people, notably quite attractive people, out there fighting the good fight."
War never changes.
I hope this response is urgent enough, as whatever you've got planned seems big, important, perhaps even life-changing. And in spite of Maureen's insistence for urgency, her reply takes almost 20 hours, and is, disappointingly, a copy-paste template email that is as common a tool in a scammer's toolbox as being frustratingly dim and unhelpful is a tool in mine. In summary, the email reads, "Hello dear. Thank you for your mail and am very happy for your interest. I hope you and your family are fine. One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. A true friend advises justly, assists readily, adventures blah 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 blah. As I informed you about something very important to share with you, listen to this. During one of our rescue missions with my military groups, we came across a safe box that contained huge amount of money that belongs to the revolutionaries, which I believe they are using to buy weapons and ammunition for war. After discovering the fund, it was agreed by all our military parties at present in that mission that the money will be shared between us. However, out of the total fund, my share was $4,700,000 USD. Right now, I am seeking your assistance to evacuate my share of the money, which is $4,700,000 USD, to your place as quickly as possible. At the moment, I am deeply afraid of losing the funds here due to the level of the attacks every day. I just want you to assure me that my funds will be safe in your care until I complete my service here by the end of 2021. Also, our military communication here are only radio message and internet facilities. We don't use phones, so I cannot communicate with you on phones, but we can only communicate through emails. Well, that's just as well. I need your urgent assistance, and as you assist me to receive the fund, I shall be compensating you with 30% of the total fund, while the remaining balance shall be my investment capital in your country, which will still be under my control until I meet you. I don't have any family. I lost my parents in a car accident one morning when I was 8 years old. After the death of my family, I live with my uncle, who is a military general, but he died in Syria chemical weapons attack on the 20th of August 2013 in Syria. Please, don't discuss this issue to a third party. If you have any reason to reject this offer, please delete all my email conversation with you, because any leakage of this information will be very dangerous for me, considering my position in the services. Oh, don't worry, Maureen. I plan for extreme leakage of any and all confidential information you decide to share with me. Now, before we move on, I think it is important to highlight some of the tactics that scammers use to help humanise themselves and make victims more likely to go along with their schemes. Here, Maureen is trying to tug on my heartstrings by spinning a tale of how her parents were killed in a car crash.
A car crash? A car crash?
And then doubling down by saying her uncle, who became her legal guardian, also died in a chemical attack in Syria during August 2013. Now, there may very well have been a documented chemical attack during that time, and if so, injecting this bit of truth into the fiction can be all it takes to sway an empathic person to be on the scammer side. It is, quite frankly, a disgusting tactic, and other examples which I'm hoping to show you in later episodes are of scammers claiming to be dying of terminal illnesses. Now, as someone who lost a dad to a terminal illness, I find these sorts of tactics to be absolutely abhorrent, and it makes it all the more satisfying for me to waste these criminals' time and report their accounts. Being true to Ragaus's inquisitive nature, I reply with the following. Holy mackerel, Maureen, 4.7 million! And that's just your share! Christ, how much was in that box? Can you just take money you find in a safe box? How did you even get into it? Oh, Maureen, is this legal? Or even morally right? Are you sure this isn't the money of some Afghani businessman or something? Sorry for all the questions, just...
Wow.
You better believe I ain't sorry about those questions. Maureen tries to blow off my questions by replying... Dear friend, I believed you read and understood my message and what I need from you. Very well, I just want to know whether you accept my offer or not. I shall be expecting your urgent response. Unable to allow a scammer to fob me off, I respond, I'll accept, Maureen, subject to my fears being quashed and answering a few questions I may have along the way. Quite suddenly, Maureen sends this nasty reply, and I have to quickly look in a mirror to make sure she hasn't bitten off my head. She sends, Your questions are irrelevant and childish. That is why I did not answer you, because all the questions you ask has already been explained to you. Asking such questions means either you did not read my message very well or you do not understand it. I advise you to read my message again for better understanding so that we can move further. Deciding that Maureen will have to pay for her rude outburst, I send this and decide that without an apology, I will be ending this scambait here and now. Childish. Maureen, I was only curious as to how much was in the box before you split it with the others, if your share alone was worth over 4 million. For someone wanting to trust me to enact a serious transaction, I found your response quite rude and unchristian. I have to think about the bigger picture when a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity like this comes along. I have to make sure it's safe and right. Do you begrudge me that? Wouldn't you do the very same if our positions were reversed? I'd like an apology for your unkind response before we go any further. Realising that she would be passing up an opportunity to be featured in a YouTube video about scambaiting, Maureen replies with, Hello, dear friend. I don't think it is relevant or necessary to know how much was in that box before we share it. The funds is not individual money because we found it at the revolutionaries' camp after we overpower them. Meanwhile, my sincerely apology to you for using abusive words on you. I'm sorry about that, just that they are some questions that you don't need to ask at this stage. Maybe when we meet and sit one-on-one interacting to each other, you can ask any questions you wish, and I will gladly answer you. Pleased that I made a scammer say sorry to me, I accept her perfunctory apology and allow the scam to proceed. Ragaus 1, scammer 0. Maureen follows up with another copy-paste template email, swearing me to secrecy to add another layer of believability and asking me for all those pesky little details that could destroy the identity of Ragaus Gupta if they were to fall into the wrong hands. Well, that would be the case if Ragaus wasn't a complete figment of my imagination. The scammer ends her email assuring me of the professionalism of the people handling the treasure box and reminds me once again to follow her instructions to avoid any mistakes, which is indeed a piece of advice I will be ignoring. I reply with Ragaus's fake details, as well as my excuses for not having access to my ID, which may be a deal breaker for this scam, but In her follow-up reply, the scammer doesn't even acknowledge it. In fact, once again, I believe that we are looking at the next copy-paste template email designed to progress us to the second base of the scam. That is the part where the scammer gets all kissy-kissy because they're preparing to get you to part with your money. Apparently, the treasure box was removed from Maureen's custody and sent to a security company in the UAB, and she wants me to contact the company to arrange delivery. In my experience with scammers, more often than not, a scammer may use a second person, organisation, bank, delivery or security company to add an additional layer to their scam, presumably to give it the appearance of being more genuine. Sometimes this may just be the same scammer using multiple email addresses, and in other cases it may in fact be other scammers working in cahoots. We saw in the past with Mr. Neil Trotter this particular tactic, as he had me contact his bank on a separate email address and even gave me the contact details for a third person when I demanded a testimonial. All of this is designed to make you believe in the scam, to dispel your doubts and reinforce their lies, as well as giving them multiple opportunities to collect your personal information when they request it for whatever bogus reason. Maureen ends this email telling me to contact the security company as soon as possible, as well as instructing me to tell them that I am her partner, which is a detail I won't inflate to creepy levels at all. She also alludes to having some strange adhesive skin condition, as she tells me how much she loves sticking to her words. She finally, and rather pointlessly, warns me against letting the security company know the content of the treasure box in order to continue the charade that the money is, in fact, real. But we know the truth, don't we? That money is as fake as Maureen's purported feelings for Ragaus. So, focusing on one tiny aspect of a previous email, I reply, "Hi Maureen, got your email and it is well understood. Before I contact the security company, I just wanted to check a few details. When you suggest I tell them you are my partner, do you mean like husband or boyfriend? Or did you mean like business partner? I think if I approach it as your husband/boyfriend, it may sound more genuine. Please reply urgently." Maureen replies urgently, if 3 hours later is classed as urgent, telling me we can become impromptu husband and wife. Wow. I just married a scammer. I reply with the following, wanting to cement our nuptials before proceeding. Okay, I can be your husband. Before I get in touch with them, I think I need to know some more intimate details, just in case they question me about our relationship. Can you tell me anything else that only your husband would know? I want all this to go smoothly, so we have to get it right first time. Otherwise, we both lose out. But Maureen's having none of it. She says, "I don't have any other secret thing to tell you for now if they ask. You any question, let me know. Tell them you want to know the possibility of delivering a consignment box that contains family items of Captain Maureen Harrison to your country. I shall be expecting your good news." But Ragaus wants all of it. So I reply, "Well, I was just worried if they ask me a question, then I have to email you, wait for a reply, send my reply to them, wait for their reply. It all just wastes more time, doesn't it? What sort of family item should I believe there to be inside, in case they are curious? I'm terrible at improvisation. I just want to have a solid backstory so all this goes to plan for us, wife." To my delight, the scammer seems to be getting a bit frustrated with the situation if her short, snappy replies are a method to measure by. She put, "If you are serious to assist me in this matter once you contact them and get feedback from them, let me know. Thanks." Never one to be put off by the growing irritation of scammers, in fact more likely to be encouraged by it, I hit Maureen up with this reply. "Maureen, I have never been more serious about anything in my life. That's why I'm so hell-bent on doing it right. Are you serious about this? I thought you'd be more accommodating about my questions. I'm only trying to come across as legitimate to the people who have your consignment. It's been a while since I've been anyone's husband." Yes, well, at least a couple of episodes. But Maureen, like most women, is immune to my advances and responds with a dull, "Once you contact them and get feedback from them, let me know." And I reply in an equal yet completely off-topic manner, "You seem annoyed with me. Are we having a lover's tiff?" And I can only assume we are, as Maureen never answered this question. It's good to know that I am just as hopeless in my fake internet marriage as I am in my real one. So I contact the security company, telling them my wife, Captain Maureen Harrison, has instructed me to sort out the delivery of her consignment box. And lo and behold, the security company reply with an email breaking down the delivery cost of $3,000. Sheesh, guys, aim high, why don't you? Complete with the website and tracking number to give the whole thing a ring of authenticity. Now, as this was a scam bait that took place last year, I don't know if the website worked at that time, but as of today, it does not, so sorry about that. I reply fibbing that I've checked out the website and am pleased at how genuine and not suspicious it all is, as well as ending asking if I could plough them with a few logistical questions without, you guessed it, asking what they are. Maureen, having time to calm down after our first marital argument, finally gets back in touch, sending me, "Hello dear friend, how are you doing today? I hope all is well with you. I am not angry with you, just that I don't like repeating words or issues I have carefully explained to you very well. I want to know the situation surrounding you concerning our project at hand. I shall be expecting your urgent reply." And I reply confirming that I'm in touch with the security company and I'm just waiting for them to answer a few questions. Questions I have yet to ask. Maureen replies to nudge me that she wants all this sorted by Monday so she can finally move to the UK to be with me and her precious treasure box.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
In the meantime, the security company finally gets back in touch, asking me what I wanted to know. Oh, I do love wasting scammers' time by being completely inefficient at communication. So I decide to let them off easy this time by simply asking for a photograph of the consignment, forcing the scammers to utilise their Photoshop, or more realistically, their MS Paint abilities. And the scammer acquiesces, sending me this, to render my doubts asunder. Not the worst we have ever seen, is it? Although, looking at the address details, it's very clear to see that whatever was there before has been painted over and a text box applied in its wake. Clearly, beneath that, any identifying marks on the cardboard have also been painted out, giving this weird, almost pixelated effect. Also, as a side note before we move on, it makes me absurdly happy to see that they kept the above the marital aid shop part on the address. If you don't know what a marital aid is, I'll let you research it yourself. Pleased more time had been spent putting bogus details onto bogus photos, I tell the scammer I'm happy and ready to proceed. To which they remind me I now have nearly £3,000 to send them. Good luck with that. Contrary to my personal feelings, however, I tell them I am ready to attempt payment. Skipping back in time a bit now to be back on with my wife Maureen, I send an email asking her how soon she can get to the UK, as well as give me an idea of the possibility of true romantic involvement, especially considering all we've been through. Maureen, clearly pegging Ragaus as a desperate simp, replies with this: "Hello dear friend, how are you doing today? I hope all is well with you over there in my dream country. Mine is full of hope of meeting you over there immediately the box is delivered to you. Honestly, you have made me feel like a human. Love is more than one man's destiny and one woman's dream. It is the gathering of two hearts entwined from a miles between. Love is the journey of our heart's journey into love's lonely sea in search of our heart's purpose to provide the shelter it needs. Love is more than one woman's hope and one man's need. It is a stream of possibilities that opens our hearts to dream, and I thank God for bringing you in my life. I am open to a serious relationship with you that can lead to marriage if you wish." And then, almost like an afterthought, "Please let me know what's going on between you and the company." Now, imagine for one moment I wasn't a balding dad bod 30-something playing around with scammers to make YouTube videos. Imagine I was a man in his 50s, a little bit lonely, a little hard done by, and I read a message like this. Now, maybe 9 times out of 10, this alone wouldn't be enough to make a person in dire straits part with almost £3,000. But for that one time, that 10%, this could be just enough to convince them to do just that. Scammers, particularly romance scammers, preying on lonely people, will take full advantage of their emotional state and promise all sorts to get the money. And for that 10% of victims who may end up sending the scammer something, the attention they get from the scammer could be the only remotely romantic attention they've had in years. And the fact that this is exploited for money is just sad. Wanting the scammer to believe I had fallen for her hook, line and sinker, I send, "Maureen, I am so pleased to see you feel the same. I honestly believe that God brought you into my email inbox for a reason, more so than just getting a consignment, a treasure box, but to bring you to me. I think this could be true love. Please, send more photos of yourself, my love. Then I'll update you on the business with the security company and our love box." And, to my surprise, Maureen does, harping on about how God brought us together. I won't blow up the images since they're clearly not the person we're talking to, and that's just how I roll. So, red-faced, I reply, "Maureen, those pictures certainly had an effect on me. I'm still in contact with the security company about our treasure box, just finalising certain details. How soon can you move to the UK?" Now, travelling back in time again,
Great Scott!
and the security company send me their lovely bank details, which I, being the crafty bugger I am, promptly report. Thanks, guys. The following day, without a response from me, the security company send a waffly email, which, without narrating it for you, basically boils down to, where's the money? I love it when English second language scammers get their hands on a thesaurus. And to keep them hooked, I tell them I will make payment later that afternoon. Waiting until the weekend, so a good 2 days after my last email, I send these emails, explaining I have been unable to make payment due to something horrible happening, rendering poor Ragaus in the hospital. Now, usually I would follow up this email with one quite ridiculous and wordy, but this time I decided to forego that tactic as it was really Maureen I wanted to be speaking to and not this other character. So I asked them to resend payment details to force them to spend more time wasting time. Although clearly the scammer has had enough of doing just that and tells me to find it myself. I don't think so, mate. So I reply saying it's a shame they don't use Bitcoin and will now have to wait for me to return to the bank. And some say, to this day, this scammer is still waiting for me to do just that. Running parallel to this, I sent Maureen a message saying, Maureen, darling, I have been in the hospital the last few days and only just been well enough to use one of their terminals to access my emails. When I get home, I shall write you a full report of what happened to me. But for now, I just wanted to send you a message to say, I love you, don't forget about me, and I hope beyond hope that this delay won't affect getting our treasure box. Although, at this point, all I want is you. But for some bizarre reason, Maureen sends this short, annoyed, and completely out of the blue reply. Sorry, I don't have any picture to send you anymore.
What?
Ragaus, being the caring sort and not one to ignore the warning signs when his significant other, or is that scamming other, clearly has something bothering them, sends, Oh dear, what's wrong, my love? And, in what I can only describe as a marital outburst, Maureen replies with this. Yes, everything is wrong because I am not seeing any seriousness in you, and all you are doing is asking me for pictures without doing anything in regards to the issue on grounds. Being a man and knowing that in 11 out of 10 cases I am wrong, I gave Maureen a day to simmer down before I replied with, I'm sorry, Maureen. I am serious. You've just taken my breath away with your beauty. If you're still in agreement, I'll get the treasure box sorted. And clearly Maureen was furious, as it took her a full 5 days to reply, to which she finally said, You don't need to ask if I'm there or not because I'm not seeing any seriousness in you for more than a week concerning the issue at hand. That is bothering me. After this week without good news from you concerning this issue, don't write me anymore because I realised you like playing with someone feeling in the name of love. If you write again without telling me you have received the treasure box, definitely I won't reply you. Oh, is that right? Well, in that case, Maureen, I have the treasure box. I just didn't want to say when we hadn't spoken to each other in so long. And after a period of 5 days silence, it takes Maureen only 4 minutes to reply to my declaration that the treasure box is at home with me. She says, You mean the treasure box has been delivered to you by the security company? And when? And then, in what I can only take as her trying to one-up me by exposing my lies, well, before coming to UK to meet you, I will write to the security company to confirm if it's true or not. But at this point I had had enough messing with Maureen. I had played my game and gone in all the circles I wanted to. At this point I feared any more additional effort on my part would only generate diminishing returns, so to put this scam to bed, I replied, The treasure box came into my custody just the other day. Feel free to write to the security company. I'm sure they won't lie to you. However, I've decided not to pursue a romantic entanglement with you any longer, Maureen. I've come to realise that what I'm really looking for in a woman is honesty, and you've not been honest at all, have you? Whilst I enjoy my newfound riches, please be rest assured that any and all details I have accrued in our time together from both you and the security company have been passed on to relevant authorities, such as Action Fraud and other law enforcement agencies, pending further investigation. I implore you to seek honest employment before it's too late. Right when I thought it was all over, lo and behold, who decides to email me almost 10 months later? That's right, Maureen is back, and judging from the content of her email, which was well noted and understood by myself, she managed to get the treasure box after all. She even wants to send me a prepaid ATM with 400 grand on it for all my past efforts to assist her, despite how it failed last time somehow. Must have a short memory there, Maureen, as I'm certain the reason it failed was me. She ends the email, no doubt trying to make me jealous, saying how busy she is with investment projects with her new partner. Oh, Maureen, I'm over you, babe. I decide not to follow up with this new attempt to scam me, as, frankly, I'm tired of beating the same old horse, and more to the point, I have plenty of other people to scambait. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, I've been working a couple of new scammers for 2022, and I'm hoping that they're going to turn into informative and entertaining episodes for you guys, as my back catalogue of scams that I did last year is starting to run a little thin now. I'm happy to say as well that I'm starting to reach a format with these videos that I like, so do expect more of the live action elements to break up the monotony of just staring at email screenshots. Okay, guys, that is all from me today. So if you'd like to leave a comment, I'll try my best to get back to you. Feel free to like if you enjoyed the video, and maybe subscribe if you want to stay in touch for future updates. Anyways, take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.